Dear YouTube, dear Google, dear executives, to whomever is in charge of policy and updates and change for users on YouTube, though it feels like screaming into an empty void instead of someone who's actually doing anything. Could we please, and I mean pretty please with a cherry on top, do something about all the bots, about all the AI crap and the AI slop that's being thrown onto your platform. This has become a major issue for some, a minor inconvenience for others, and an economic disaster for some. There are channels who read stories off of Reddit. Things like HFY, Karma Stories, things like that. I watch the HFY genre, which is a sci-fi genre, humanity-centered, a lot. There are two primary people who I watch it on. There is Net Narrator, and there is Aggro Squirrel. I used to watch Amy's Literary Empire, but if you look at her channel, she stopped posting videos very shortly after she started. A few of my stories that I've personally written for the HFY subreddit are on these channels, which is where this becomes an issue for me and why I feel like I need to make this video. So the HFY genre specifically on YouTube is an issue right now. There are people who are taking stories from there. There are AI taking stories off of there at the behest of people who are then putting it into a text-to-speech reader, recording the text-to-speech reading and uploading the video with an AI-made thumbnail or background image throughout the video, sometimes several that scroll. This is a problem because this is a small, niche area of YouTube that used to have a few creators that really focused on it, and I would watch most of them, in fact. But now, if I search HFY in my YouTube, I get Sci-Fi Realm, Sci-Fi Stories, Sci-Fi Universe, HFY Sci-Fi Story, and so on. These are all bots. They are all robotically read. They are all taken down from Reddit, most of them without consent from the author, and then put on YouTube to try to get views, make profit, etc. There's a notable outlier that's somewhere between robotic and human called Starbound HFY. I'm not a fan of what they're doing. They're trying to make the HFY into a kind of business model with different writers and readers. It's interesting. I can agree with what they're doing, or well, I can understand what they're doing. I don't agree with it, but they aren't bots, so I don't care. The point is, though, that the overwhelming majority of these stories that are being quote-unquote read are being read by bots, put up onto YouTube by bots. They are flooding a niche that used to be carved out by a few creators who used it to scrape, and I mean scrape by. The view count was never very high. One guy one of the two people I watch, Aggro Squirrel, narrates. His videos, if I go into his section on YouTube, have, let me scroll for a split second here, average, let's see, 1.3K, 2K, some of them get up to 10 or 15,000 views. That's about it. That's about what he gets. And he keeps a live 24/7 HFY radio up as well for one-shot stories for people to listen to and enjoy. For the people who enjoy this niche, this content, he keeps the radio up. And so some of you can ask, well, what's the big deal about it? It just means there's more of the content, right? No, because for the people who did this for an actual living and not just bots, they can't do it anymore. Sci-Fi Universe, for example, has a story up 373,000 views because they're copy-pasting from the subreddit and just putting slop out every single day at a rate that no person could possibly do. Like, what the hell? The content creators for this content have been completely pushed out of their own niche by people who have turned on an automatic robot to copy and paste content and put it on the website. Or you can say you can report these videos, or the people who run the stories can copyright them and get them removed from YouTube, or just not allow them to read it, right? That doesn't work either. My Reddit messages are filled so frequently with people in the community reporting, hey, this channel is using a bot. They uploaded your content. I'm letting you know. It's ridiculous. Okay, it's ridiculous. On my primary Reddit page, I say, hey, I write these sci-fi stories. You are 100% free to post this on YouTube if you don't use a robotic reader. If you don't use a text-to-speech or a bot to do this, you are 100% free to use my content. If you do use a bot, you cannot, under any circumstances, use my content on any other platform. That's what it says. And I have that warning in a few places. And yet, still, I have sent in dozens of copyright claims through my primary account saying, hey, this is my story. I wrote this. I can provide the original files, the original dates, and everything. And they get taken down, sure, but I'm a person. I can only do so much when there's so many slop bots out there just stealing my stuff. Like 100% stealing it. You don't have my permission to upload this anywhere. I've specifically said you can't if you're using bots. So your bot taking it, like, if a copyright goes through, I will take legal action with the owner of that bot. I will push them into oblivion. I'm sick of it because this is just the HFY genre. There are, I'm sure, dozens and dozens of others out there. Most of them seem to be targeted at tech stories on Reddit, which, I mean, obviously. But then there's also another group, the manga reading bots. Now, to some degree, this is a little different sometimes. So, in about 20% of the cases, it's an actual human being who's gone through, read a manga, typed up a script about what's happening in it, taken the time to take pictures, and set up an actual thing for you to watch to recap about the manga or to listen to while you're at work or something. You can't read it. Some people have a reading addiction. I'm one of them. Manga, web novels, actual books, I have a reading problem. I'm always consuming new media and content through the reading medium. But 80% of the time, it's an AI bot that's been told, hey, look through this manga, take pictures where it's convenient, slide through them, and give me a narrative about what's happening, and read it off through this text-to-speech program that I've attached to you. And then, before you start that, make sure to start recording all of it, and save it as a video audio file on my desktop so I can upload it to YouTube and claim it as my own. That's wrong for a few reasons. Even the people who do the work themselves, it's wrong for a few reasons. First of all, the manga artists and the studios who work hard to do this, their income comes through the ads through most websites. You doing it through your little channel is not gonna give them anything. Nothing at all. Especially when you purposely go out of your way to avoid saying the name of the manga in the description, in the comments, in the title, in anything to avoid the copyright claim. Don't put ads on it. Don't monetize your video. And sure, YouTube will flag it for copyright, but they'll put ads up on the behalf of the person who actually owns the goddamn content. So bots doing this is starting to become a real issue. It's causing financial issues in a few different areas. For the creators on your platform, YouTube, it is pushing people out of their own niche. For external creators who these bots are stealing content from, like myself, it's a serious problem. It demands the pursuit of legal action. And YouTube, I'm not going to go against you. I'm not going to go against Google. I don't have that kind of money, personally. But all it takes is one of these bots uploading One Piece manga content, trying to make money off of it. And you're going to have a lawsuit from the developers of One Piece, from the studio behind it, from everyone involved in its copyright. Do you have any idea how big One Piece is? That's going to be a fight. So dear YouTube, please do something about these bots. This is a problem. It's a problem for the creators who found their own niche and through literal years of hard work managed to carve it out. Because they're getting pushed out of this niche they've carved. It's an issue for people who make the content that is being taken by these bots, narrated, and used. It is a problem for artists that would otherwise have jobs to make thumbnails, or people who would otherwise have jobs to edit YouTube videos, instead being replaced by these bots. It is an issue for you, personally, because once one big item with a massive company, a massive international company behind it, gets its work put up on your platform by a bot that you didn't regulate, there's gonna be an issue. Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe the suit will be simply under, hey, either put up regulations for this, or we want all the money we believe we lost from this back from you. Now, sure, maybe you can pay that off. Maybe that's no big deal. But once that sets precedent, you're in trouble. Because left, right, and center, there's dozens of smaller creators who are having their work stolen by these bots. And once precedent is set over a victory for the owner of the copyright for the content stolen by these bots, all these small creators are going to come out of the woodwork and realize, hey, we might be able to win and get money out of YouTube/Google now. It's going to be a problem when it inevitably happens, unless there is a policy change. Now, I've said I want these bots gone. I've shown why I want these bots gone. I've said that I want a policy change to get rid of them. I don't want them gone entirely. Well, kind of. So, I'm a content creator, and as someone who makes content by themselves, I edit by myself, I record by myself, I make the thumbnails by myself. Sometimes it's nice to go in to an AI and have an image made. If I wasn't going to buy an image from an artist anyway, and I don't have the money to pay someone to do it for me, then the AI is a nice tool. That's all. Using it for thumbnails? Sure. Whatever. That's, for the most part, harmless. There's arguments that can be made that it will lead to things later down the line, but that's neither here nor there. The issue is these bots need to go. There needs to be something put in place banning text-to-speech reader videos. And there has to be you in the process, YouTube, of uploading a video every time you do quote-unquote checks. Okay? These checks catch copyright audio issues all the time. Why can they not scan speech patterns to find this is a text-to-speech bot? Why can you not implement your own AI looking at visual content and saying, hey, this isn't a video game. This isn't a news article. This isn't repair for vehicles or making your homestead or whatever kind of video. This is clear cut a manga. Or this is clearly text-based something. And if it's text-based something and you find a bot voicing and narrating it, flag that shit. Get that off the platform. Tell them no, they can't upload this. It's against policy. I have a few different issues with YouTube, but these bots are getting to be a big one, and it's one I know YouTube can change and fix. Not easily, but with the billions of dollars of income that YouTube earns them, you're telling me they won't invest to fix this minor issue that will improve the quality of their platform and thereby increase their revenue? No, that's dumb. Someone from YouTube, please see this. Please make the change. Please get rid of these bots. I could go on about other issues. I could go on about the issues with ad revenue, or how copyright works on your platform being ridiculous, how keeping your policies so secretive that uploaders don't actually know what they can and can't do is ridiculous, but there's a lot I could go on about, but I haven't. Those issues I've dealt with. As a content creator, I've dealt with them. They're annoying. God, do they pet my peeve. But there's something I've accepted for the sustainability and stability of the platform. Banning ad blockers is kind of dumb, but I can understand it somewhat. But continuing to allow these bots on your platform is absolutely unacceptable. It used to be not even a year and a half ago. I could search HFY in my search bar, and the only people that would pop up were 7 or 8 people, the keyword people, who narrated these stories with permissions from the author. The bots don't ask for permission. They just rip it down, upload it, and call it a day. Now, I'm probably one of the bolder people, because if I see my stuff, I put a copyright claim immediately. And I will pursue that personally if I must. I'm not very rich. I'm very poor, in fact. I will pursue the crap out of that. And a lot of people on that platform won't. They go up there, they write these stories because they're passionate about them, because the stories are fun, because it's good for the community that we've built. But no, it's some people are just scared to go against these bot channels. They're scared to put a copyright claim in, like I used to be at first, because they might have to actually pursue it. And they don't have the money for that. They're absolutely in the right. They wrote the story. They have the original documents, but that might not be enough in a courtroom sometimes. And that's ridiculous. So they won't pursue it. So a lot of these bots get away with it. And I've gone on this rant long enough. But YouTube, please do something about these bots. It's ruining small YouTube communities. It really is. To anyone who watched this video all the way through, thank you for listening to my rant. I hope you have a beautiful day. Don't subscribe to this channel. I never upload here. I'm mostly a gaming channel, but this is just something that made me irate, and I had to upload it on my kind of more intellectual channel. Thank you for listening. If you like the video, thank you for liking the video. Try to comment so YouTube can see this, so someone at YouTube Corporate can see this. Maybe snowball's chance in hell. You guys have a beautiful day. Thank you, and goodbye.